Okay, you guys, it is time for the Women's Discipline Part 2, ideas for the Olympic season for the 2025 to 2026 upcoming season. Stick with me, it's going to be fun. As a reminder, USFS requires skaters to use SongView, which is a site where you can look up songs, and they either have to be fully owned by ASCAP or BMI or shared between the two, equaling 100%. It's strongly encouraged in order to showcase your program. So I tried to look up most of these songs that I am recommending. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with blockbuster programs. And what better person than Chaeyeon Kim? She skated to Everybody Knows from Justice League. She's also skated to, Tron Legacy. So she is a very strong blockbuster skater. I think so. To skate to a blockbuster, the music is often really instantly recognizable, and you have to be a really strong, open, big skater. And I think this style is actually really good for her. I think they try to pigeonhole her into the pretty princess box, especially in her long program, but I don't actually think that's who Chaeyeon is. Okay, I have a couple of ideas that I think she could pull off. First, we have the Jurassic Park. This music is really recognizable, and obviously the movie, it takes place in a time when humans were able to resurrect dinosaurs, and so the costumes on the left are kind of the palette and the kind of, mood I'd want to create. I'd like something with buckles. I'd like something kind of like canvasy or something like that. I think that would look really cool. And then Jai Ho is a song from the really famous movie Slumdog Millionaire. Now, I do think that she could actually pull this off, and you see some of the costumes on the right. There's a few versions of Jai Ho. There's actually one from the Dolls, one of these pop groups, and there's also just the original Jai Ho. So go ahead and take a listen. Now, obviously, we'd want to be really careful and not, dip into cultural appropriation. Jai Ho means victory in Hindi, and I think that if we could do like a tasteful outfit, something like the ones on the right. Obviously, these are long dresses, so we'd need to make it skating appropriate, but I think it could be really beautiful. I had to edit some of these. Some of them are really risque, so sorry if the editing looks kind of crazy, but this is just kind of inspiration for what a Jai Ho program could look like. I think Chaeyeon could really pull this off. Next, we have Sarah Everhardt from the US. Her jumps are massive. She is such a big skater, so I really like that they challenged her this past season with Firebird and then another kind of Irish dance song. I think that really was a good move, and so I think she'd be a perfect candidate for blockbuster type music. A couple of ideas. We have Into the West from Lord of the Rings. You can see the costumes on the left. Obviously, those are way too long, especially the sleeves, but we could definitely stick with this kind of color palette. This kind of draping would be really cool. That kind of periwinkle or kind of that might be like more of a slate gray, blue type of dress, has some cool detailing on it. So I think really playing off of the beautiful costumes she had this season, but making it more into Lord of the Rings would be really cool. And then for Twilight, I imagine something very skatery, like the ones on the right. The song Supermassive Black Hole, obviously black would be really cool. I think both of these demonstrate that. I really like the one with the shoulders, the kind of shoulder pads. I think that gives it a very authoritarian look. I think that gives it a commanding presence. I think Sarah could really pull it off. Let's go ahead and take a listen first to Into the West and then Supermassive Black Hole. Okay, it's time for Warhorse programs, and you might be asking, what the heck is a Warhorse program? These are programs that are frequently used in ice skating. They're kind of ones that you know almost like instantaneously. For example, Carmen or Phantom of the Opera, just music that's really, I would say, overused, but there's a reason that it's so popular. Let's go ahead and see who I think can do a Warhorse program. All right, first up, we have Niina Petrokina from Estonia. This season, she skated to Dune, and again, Dune is almost like a warhorse. I guess it would be a newer one or a blockbuster. And I think that this would be a good vehicle for her. I really love the music to Romeo and Juliet. Brady Tennell skated to this a number of seasons ago, and I thought it was really successful for her. So we'd want to do something kind of like a modern Ren fair. So some kind of mood boards on the left. I really like these tones, these colors. I'd like to stick with a solid color, but with some detailing. I like the shoulders falling off of the blue dress or kind of the layering of the white dress. Just something in this vein would be really beautiful. Another idea is Malagueña, which is also a warhorse. And for this song, I would want to choose something like on the right. I really like the black dress. I think the jagged shoulders, and I really love the kind of detailing down the slit. I think like the shoulder pads would be really good for her. I noticed that her shoulders are kind of lax or something, and I think this would give her an aesthetic that would look really nice on the ice. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Malagueña. Okay, I think the other Niina, Pinzarrone of Belgium, can also do a warhorse. Some ideas I think would be nice for her are Sing, Sing, Sing. And you can see some of the dresses on the left. Let's take a listen. Okay, so you can see the dresses on the left are kind of a glamorous, swingy, almost like a flapper type of thing. I think would be really cool for her. Something really sparkly, bright, especially because this season she went so muted. My next idea is Adios Nonina by Piazzolla. And the theme I want you guys, think Caitlin Osman from the 2018 Olympics. I just love this kind of cute French girl look. And so for this costume, I did more of a mood board. I didn't really do a specific dress, but these are kind of some ideas. I think we could really draw inspiration from the Olympics being in Europe. I love this kind of Riviera, this French Riviera or Italian Riviera vibe. I really like the idea of like a really bold pattern, almost like Prada or something like that. I love the idea of a scarf. I love kind of that dress up top, how it's, very nice shape. And then I love these little gloves that are only cover the fingers. I think that would be really sleek, really beautiful. I wouldn't do all of these things, obviously, but we want to be very tasteful. But I think I mark my words, you guys, whoever taps in to this kind of Italian motif or this kind of French Riviera type vibe at the Olympics and has the matching music, I truly think is going to, make a little moment for themselves, whether or not they win a medal or something. I really do think that this could draw in the Italian crowd. So let's listen to a little bit of Adios Nonino by Piazzolla. And just so you're aware, Adios Nonino translates to goodbye. I think it's grandfather or father. So this could be a really great way to draw in the crowd. I just think it would be beautiful. Okay, again, with the Olympics being in Italy, we need to look at regional music or Italian music as potential for programs. We really want to draw the crowd in. Someone who I think could do Italian opera would be Mone Chiba of Japan. I think she has that really beautiful kind of aura on the ice where I think she could really pull it off. I found an opera singer I thought was really beautiful. Her name is Aida Garofulina, and she has two different songs. The one on the left, I think, would go for Aluki, and then on the right, Serenada. I think the one on the right is so classy. I love the buttons. I really love the bottom right dress. I think like the long sleeves and kind of the collar. I think this would give her a more mature look on the ice. I think especially because Mone can sometimes skew a little juniorish. I think we want to elevate her look. I also love the ones on the left. There's these silvery, gray and silver type of things. I think a glove could be really cool too for her. So I just want something a little more edgy, and I think opera would be the great way to go. So let's listen to these two songs, first Aluki and then Serenada. And then, of course, what better person to bring in the regional influence than Lara Naki Gutmann of Italy herself? I think she could get the crowd roaring. Now, these ideas could go for Anna Pasetta. Anna could be the one to be going to the Olympics. It is a tragedy that Italy only has one spot for the Olympics, but I think these songs really are going to fit and challenge Lara. I really want Lara to bring like the fun to Italy. I want her to just truly embrace and go all the way and do something vibrant, upbeat, fun. So one of the songs is called A far l'amore come initia tu by Raffaella Cara. Let's go ahead and listen to this one first. Would look really good in orange. I would love something like sequined orange, like that dress at the top left. And then the bottom left, that's actually Raffaella Cara herself. She has since passed away, but she was a very famous Italian singer, and I think she could get the crowd roaring. On the right, we have another song called Bella Ciao. I want something really beautiful. I want color, but maybe a pattern or maybe more of like a starburst type thing. But I think this would look really beautiful. Let's listen to the song.
I am a Loompa. I am a pint-sized mini-me.
Okay, what would ice skating be without good old pop songs or pop programs? It was a number of years ago that skating finally allowed lyrics into programs. I personally love it. I think we should have more freedom, not less. And so let's take a look. There are a few skaters who I think could do a pop program. First up, we have the queen of the pop program, Alysa Liu, having what I think was the best short program of the season, doing a song that she personally loved from La Fée. My first idea is to do a La Fée Part 2. I think since she loves this singer and I went and listened to a bunch of her songs, she truly is a very good artist. I hadn't really known of her before Alysa brought her to light. So there's another song called I Wish You Love. I think we could go for something blue or kind of blue and teal, kind of the ones on the left, I think would look really beautiful. Take a listen to the song. Okay, I listened to a bunch of pop songs and I couldn't really find the one that I think Alyssa should do, but I did really like this one called Sunday Morning by Haley Tuck. I think it has a nice kind of vibe and atmosphere around it that I think Alyssa could really play into. For this one, I'd want her to do like some kind of unique fashion. Alyssa already has really unique fashion. She actually dyed her hair and kind of spray painted lines on her hair at World Team Trophy recently. And, she has a piercing in her mouth, actually. I just think that I'd like to see more of that brought out. I want to see that kind of alt energy. So I really like the dress on the bottom right. I think it has interesting cutouts and even something at the top would be cool too. So go ahead and listen to Sunday Morning.
Life gets hard to do, and I gladly hit the road. Get up and go if I knew that someday it would lead me back to you. Find a way to get myself back home to you.
What do you guys think? Could one of these be Alyssa's new winning program? Let me know in the comments below. And last but certainly not least, my last idea for a pop song, I want Ekaterina Kurakova. I think Ekaterina really has a very fun aesthetic on the ice. I think she doesn't get enough credit for just going all out, and she often gets labeled juniorish or whatever. But I think that she could do something like Fight Song by Rachel Platten. If you don't know that song, then you have been living under a rock. It's been kind of a theme song, a power girl anthem for a long time. I would love any of the dresses on the left, something kind of cool, something with, I really like the buttons on the black dress, or kind of an interesting cut like the one on the white dress, but something structured I think would look really nice. Or she could do a Dove Cameron song. One that I really liked is called Bloodshot. I'd love the idea of like a red trench coat as the actual dress, or even something like the one in pink. I think like a higher waist or a baby doll style could look good on her, especially because she is a little bit petite. But go ahead and listen to Bloodshot.
And my friends say I'm losing my mind, and my parents checking all the time. But it's harder to see you're not mine with my bloodshot eyes. And I know that they're all probably...
What do you guys think of this song? Do you think Ekaterina could skate to something like this? Let me know in the comments below. What did you think of my ideas? What skaters am I missing? What program types did I get wrong? What did I get right? Let me know in the comments below. I guess none of us will really know until the announcements for new programs start coming out maybe in the next few months or weeks here. So I'm so excited to see what the skaters pick. It's obviously a super important decision. And do you think anyone should just keep their program from last season? I thought about maybe Alyssa keeping Promise, but I think that it was so good and had such a good run. I think she should move on. Let's retire it and let's see what the skaters decide. Thank you so much for watching. Over and out. This is Kelly Commentates.
3 long years. I'm going back.